Daniel Dubois and Usyk and wanting to make that fight, I think that's a fascinating fight. And I think, as much as my knowledge doesn't compare in any shape or form to you guys, I think Dubois can win that fight. I think he can give Usyk the problems now as a confident, more assertive fighter than he was when he fought Usyk. All the questions. He went through the battle with Gerald Miller, which I thought he should have won anyway. The Hrgovic fight was remarkable in the amount of shots he took and came through it. And the destruction of Anthony Joshua was the cherry on top of the pie, on top of the cake. I think Dubois could be the first challenge that Usyk really has.
He's a completely different animal now. He really is. And he's learning so quickly. And moreover than anything else, he's hungry. He's so hungry for the success. Not the limelight. He's not interested. I don't think he's particularly interested in the limelight. No. He's hungry for success. And when you've got that fire that's burning in your belly and you want the success, you'll walk through hell and high water to get it. Doesn't matter who's in his way. If he fights Usyk again, it's a completely different fight. I don't expect for 1 minute Usyk will be able to handle him the same way that he did in their first fight. It's a completely different fight.
Do you think, I mean, carrying the first fight into the second fight, do you think Dubois carries any baggage from the first fight? He feels. I mean, he said to him, "I don't think it was a robbery in the first fight."
No,
there was questions after that fight about Daniel swallowing it in terms of taking a knee in the 9th round.
Yeah.
Do you think he wins this fight, Dubois, if he goes against Usyk in the next 8 months?
He's got every chance. He's got every chance of beating Oleksandr Usyk. He's got every chance of beating anybody that he steps in the ring with right now. Because Daniel Dubois is, I'm not going to say he's the complete package, but he's got a lot more going for him.
Where are you on that, Spence?
I think that Daniel Dubois is a vastly improving character. Like, listen, we know that he's got the technical ability, and we know that he's always had that, but maybe not the mental strength.
Exactly.
I think Don Charles has worked well on that. Moulding of him was that Oleksandr Usyk fight because he sort of believed in himself a little bit more. The victories he's had since then have been very, very impressive. This is the acid test, this one. If he goes through and beats Joseph Parker in style,
knocks him out,
I'm going to say, yes, he's got a great chance of beating... For me, you go, Oleksandr Usyk is a standalone at the moment.
Yeah, sure.
Daniel Dubois is hot on his heels.
Exactly.
But this is the acid test now. And we'll know more about Daniel Dubois and where he's at, because I think Parker will take Dubois into... Once we get past the physical side, it becomes a psychological battle, because Parker will take him there, because he's a tough Parker. Yeah. And I think that's when we find out more about Daniel Dubois.
Spence, Alex Krasiuk was talking about Oleksandr Usyk's future and potentially, rather ridiculously, I thought, talking about him going down to cruiserweight. What do you make today?
Do you know what? I think it's a crazy move. Like I was actually, we went to the Ring magazine launch, and I was sitting next to Jai Opatara on the table. We were having this conversation about him possibly coming down, and Jai was in agreement with me. He said, "Listen, I want to go up to heavyweight." And I said, "I'll fight Usyk at heavyweight, and that's a real fight." He said, "But if he comes down, like when Roy Jones went up to and beat John Ruiz, come back down, never the same fighter again. Duke, you're an ex-fighter, you know."
Let's hear from Jai. Let's hear what he had to say about it all.
Talk of you and Oleksandr Usyk meeting if Usyk defeats Tyson Fury tonight. Would you step up to heavyweight to beat him?
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's a fight that would take 100%. But you know, he's got a job to do. I've got a job to do, and it's something further down the track if it happens. You know, but obviously that's a fight that I could only dream of having. So it'd be awesome.
We all rate Jai Opatara as a cruiserweight. I think we all think and universally think he's the best cruiserweight out there. And in that lane, he dominates the conversation.
Yeah.
If he steps up to heavyweight, because I think it's madness, and I think most of us will think it's madness for Usyk to step back down to cruiserweight. That's been done.
That conversation
he doesn't need to have it.
No.
If he steps up to heavyweight, Jai Opatara, who do you think is the more difficult opponent for Usyk? Do you think it's Daniel Dubois or do you think it's Jai Opatara?
Probably Jai Opatara, because size-wise.
For Usyk.
For Usyk. No, right now, I'm saying, like, if you go... Until Daniel comes through this fight with Parker, I'm sort of like, I need to see that to know where he's at in his development. Because Daniel Dubois will be...
Well, who's the harder night work? For him, who gives him the hardest night's work?
At heavyweight right now would be, obviously, Daniel Dubois, because he's the big guy. We don't know what Jai's going to be like at heavyweight. Like, until Jai moves up, and it's going to take him, what... Like, that fight won't happen because it'll take him at least a year. By that time, Alexander's going to be pushing 38, 39 years of age. So I don't see that fight really... It's a fight that we would sort of... fantasy fight that we would dream about. But I think if he got there at that stage, he would beat Usyk, because Usyk was an old man.
Yeah, I don't think Usyk beats him at cruiserweight. But then if he goes the other way and he goes up to heavyweight...
You don't?
No.
Or because he's stepping back down again?
Because he stepped back down in weight, you see what I mean? But Dubois, at any rate, is going to give everybody absolute nightmares.